please. Okay, so you guys are gonna have to keep track of the handout to see what we what to remind me what I said I need you to do. Okay. So let me kind of go through the process and show you how to do some of these things. So the easiest way to get yourself in the general vicinity of where you want to be instead of just like in the globe somewhere is to put in the address, because right, that'll zoom you right in. When we go to places that don't have an address, then you can just put coordinates in that same bar right there. Okay, and that'll send you right to where you're going. Okay. um so there's all these, you see all these little tools up here at the top? So there's like a little push pin, and there's this weird little like hexagonal shape, and then there's like lines, and there's all kinds of stuff up here. Those are the locations where we're going to find all the tools that we're going to use. Okay. So the first tool that we're going to use is this. It looks like a little push pin. You see that? I'm going to click on that, and this little box opens here. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to type in the coordinates, and I'm going to do the helicopter because it's labeled. And we'll see if it's good coordinates or not. Okay. And then our longitude for that was 117. Whoops, I already wrote that part. 57430. Okay. And then, so don't hit enter yet. You can give it a name up here, right? So helicopter. Right. And you guys are putting in whatever one of yours. You're not necessarily putting in this one, right? Put in one of your points. Okay. And then here's the other really fun thing, you guys. You can change your little doodad, right? So you can change if you look at the push pin next to where your title was, you can change it to a different color of push pin. You can give it a number. You can give it, don't do these logos because it makes it really hard to see the point on the map. So don't do any of these like crazy logos here, but like these little flaggy things are nice. So I'm gonna just random, what am I gonna pick just for funzos? I'm gonna pick an H for helicopter, because why not? All right. And then the other cool thing, you can mess with your color, right? Which is cool. And like the opacity. So is it sheer or is it like, right? There's so many things that you can mess with, and it's all very fun. You can make little custom colors that you'll go back and use again, right? I'm just going to leave it with H. Okay. And then I'm going to hit okay, because that's my icon, right? So helicopter, and then there I picked my little icon. That's my lat launch. And then if you want to, you can put a little description in here. You don't have to, but let's say that you wanted to go back to this map and you wanted there to be more than just the name of the place, but like something else about it, that you could put that in the description, right? This also, yeah, that's another way of changing your color and all that stuff. So yeah, okay. And then when you hit okay, look at that. Now, the way that I zoom in is with the mouse wheel is the easiest way to zoom in. So good job catching that helicopter. You got the exact right spot. Yeah? You see how I did that? And then I'm okay. All right, I'm gonna put in another spot that's a mystery spot. So as you guys are putting in your points, if you put in your point and you notice that it's not on the right place on the map, right? What that means is one of two things happened. Either your GPS was malfunctioning or there was some sort of operator error. Okay. And so the reason we're doing this now is to figure that out. Okay. And so if you get the wrong, if today you get the wrong thing, or the, coordinates don't make sense, what I want you to do is try to figure out if it was the GPS unit or if it was you. Okay. And either way is fine. If it's the GPS unit, give it to me and I'll try to fix it. If it was you, that way you'll hopefully be between now and the next time we use this, figure out like what was the thing that you were doing, what was the step that you were missing or whatever. Okay. And so you're just going to put in a total of 5 locations. And so I'm going to put in, somebody read me the numbers for one of those that I can't see because I'm turned around. Or don't. 3, 4, 1, 4, 7, 4, 2. And then 5, 6, 5, 7, 7. Okay, I don't know what this is going to be. Wait, where is it? Oh, I know where that is. What, who put that one up here and where is it? Like, what was the landmark there? It was the first, the big numbers in black. Whose was that? Where were you supposed to be? Lake Chaffee? That's not Lake Chaffee. Uh-oh. Okay, so weird spot. Now, this is still on campus, so I suspect it could be that there's something wrong with the GPS. Or the other thing that it could be is it could be that it didn't clear out the waypoint. And so what you were doing is seeing the waypoint of the last person who used the GPS. And so where that location is, what we're calling weird spot, is actually kind of a cool location because did I make it? Did I lose it? Dang it. I did lose it. Okay, I'm just gonna, oh wait, no, there it is. Now it's in the right spot. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Okay. It was pointing in the wrong spot before, right? Did I make that up? Now it's right. Yeah. So because it's Lake Chaffee, I'm gonna make it blue and an L. Hey, look at that. You can call stuff whatever you want to. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit okay, and I'm gonna hit okay. I don't know why it was showing me a different location and then it showed me that location. That's strange. Anyway, okay, so yeah. So then what we're gonna do is you're gonna have a total of 5 of those, right? And then what's the next thing I said you need to do on your little handout? A line between 2 points. Okay, let me show you how to do a line. Everybody watch. So there's a couple ways to do a line. One way is something called path. So what path does is path, so H2 Lake Chaffee. I'm naming my path before I start making it, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on wherever, and I can move this out of the way if it's in the way, and I actually kind of want to zoom in a little bit. Oops, dang it. Delete, undo, cancel. That's the way to undo it. Okay, because I was trying to zoom and do the thing at the same time, and that was not wise. So, okay, so let's do it this way. So path, and then I'm calling it H2LC. And so what I'm going to do, you see my little square thing? And what you do is you click on the first point, and then if you use path, what it does is it makes like little lines, and you can make like a curving path. So crap. I did it backward. I did it wrong already, you guys. Already. So I'm like saying, I'm imagining that we're driving. So you see, I'm just clicking. Each time I click, you see how it puts down a little line? So I'm imagining that we're driving from the helicopter to Lake Chaffee, and we're gonna go this way. And I ran into the tennis courts. Oops. Not a very good driver. Da-da-da! And I can change the color of it. I can make it big and fat and bold so that it's like a big, fat, dark line. Let's make it a yellow line for funzos. And I'm going to make it super opaque. Can I make it bigger? Yes, I can. Da-da-da! Now you can see it better. Yeah, so that's path. Path is not straight. Path is like, bleh. Okay? Let's say I wanted to do a straight line between helicopter and Lake Chaffee. Okay? And by the way, you can try to save this file that you make. It's called an XLM file, I think is what they're called. But the better thing to do for now is to just make sure that you get it exactly the way you want it with everything on it. And then like, I'll show you how to print it. We're not actually going to print it on paper, but we're going to use the print function. So the other way to do a line is you click on path and you start on one spot and you don't click until the other spot, and then it gives you a straight line. So you see that? So if you want it to be a curving path, right, where you're showing like the way that you walked through something or like something like that, right? You have to click various times to make the line curve. But if you want it to be a straight line, it looks like that. Okay. And so I'm going to change this. So I'm going to be like, I'm going to call it something different. I'm going to call it As the Crow Flies. And I'm going to change the color. I'm going to make it black. No, I'm not going to. Should I make it black for crows? Maybe. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but whatever. I'm going to do that anyway. Okay. So, whoop, whoop. Does that make sense? Okay. So pick a path or pick a line, whatever you want to do between two of your points. So like I walk from here to here, or this is the shortest way to get from here to here, or whatever, right? And give it a name of some kind, right? Relating to what you're doing. Okay, what was the next thing I asked you to do on that handout? Polygon. Okay, let's make a polygon just for funzos. So polygon, oh, I have to hit okay because I didn't do that yet. All right. You see this thing that looks like a weird shape next to the push pin? That's polygon. Okay. And so I'm going to do, what do I want to do a polygon of? Oh, I know what I want to do a polygon of. I'm going to cancel it real quick so I can move a little bit. I'm going to find where I want, and then I'm going to do it. Okay. So I'm going to do a polygon, and the polygon is going to be, this is our, citrus grove up here. So I'm going to like, burr, 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 burr. Oh, wow. That's not, Sarah, that's a bad line. I'm a little wobbly with the mouse. Okay. And so once again, we can change the style and color. So I don't like how it's opaque and I can't see the stuff behind it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with my opacity and I'm going to make it 25%. And then I'm going to change my color. Instead of white, I'm going to make it purple because I like purple. Oh, I changed the opacity on the line, not the area. Oops. There, now you see that pale purple over the thing. Okay, so that's a polygon. That is a very irregularly shaped polygon. If you want to do a better shape, what you can do is you can do, like, let's say we wanted to do the whole preserve. So I would do click, and then I would go click, and that would get us a straight line. And then I'd go click, and then I would go click, and then it's, yeah. Does that make sense? So that's how you make polygons. So you can make them weird and like free, like you're drawing. And then you can also make them like your just kind of whatever. So the difference between the wiggly lines, either as a line or a polygon, is that you hold the mouse down as you're moving. You hold the button down on the mouse. And if you want it to be like straight lines between points, then you just click at each point individually. Is that okay? I'm gonna change the color of this one because I don't want this one. I don't want the preserve to be purple. I want the preserve to be red. I don't know why. Yeah. And if you wanted it to make it so that nobody could see the preserve, you could make it opaque. Okay. So I want you to be creative in what you do, right? But I want you to use the tools. Okay. What was the next thing on the list? Okay. I don't remember how to do this. So we're going to see if I can remember. All right. There's a ruler. There's my ruler. Let's see what the ruler does. So you can do a ruler based on your, you can do a ruler based on your path or just by your mouse. So for example, if I want to know how long it is to the very edge of the outfield in the baseball field, right? I open up ruler and then I go, nope, I don't do that. I go boop, and then I go boop. And do you see how it's giving me a length in the box? It says 0.15 kilometers. Do you see that? Okay. I could, if I wanted to, I could change it to meters because kilometers is a bit much for that. So it's 104.21. And I'm not doing super precise measurements, but you know, you get the gist, right? So that would be the kind of thing that you would probably write down in your field notebook, not something you would necessarily like, it's not going to show up on the map. Okay. So when you guys turn this in, right, that might be something to put in the legend perhaps, or attach some other way. We'll get to the legend in a minute. So that's how you measure distance. And then it even tells you what direction you're going in, you guys. What does the heading mean? 132.72. What does that mean? It's a compass direction, right? So remember 0 is north. So 132 is southeast, which is what direction the line is going from the home plate to the end of the outfield. Yeah. So maybe add to your instructions, not just measure the distance, but what's the heading. So add that to it. Okay. Because then because you can also tell me the direction that if you were walking that line, what direction would you be walking in? Yeah. I'm having so much fun with this. I know you guys are probably like, this is ridiculous. But I'm having fun, and that's all that matters to me. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just click that, and I'm going to let that go. And I can save it. Ooh, I don't know where. Oh, it does. Look at that. I can save it. Okay. I've never done saving before. I bet it'll come up on the legend when I show the legend. Okay. So that was a distance. Now what? What was the other thing? Elevation change. Okay. So all you're going to do for that is if you click on your point, no, that's not what I want. What? Okay. How do I do it? I'm trying to remember. Do I right click? No. Do I see? If you don't use this stuff enough, you forget. If you've got elevations on your GPS, you can just calculate, like, just subtract your north, your north one, and then subtract the southern one to get the difference. But there's got to be a way to do this. Well, okay. So one way to do it is if you put your little paw over the point, and you're on the point when it does that, when it like goes, boop, I'm bigger and taller. Okay. And you can look at the elevation in the bottom right corner. So I set mine to meters for elevation. So that point is 824 meters. And then what point is the other side here? And then if I go over here, then it's, now where are we? That is not still 824 meters. You lie. You lie. It's got to be higher. No? Let me try another one. Try up here. Why? Where am I? They're not grabbing. Now it's 7. That doesn't make any sense. Is anybody figuring out how to use the elevation thing? Oh, I know what the problem is. I was looking at elevation from like eye level or something. That's what that one is. This one should have a. Okay, maybe we get rid of the elevation thing because I can figure it out. So cross that out. Cross out elevation. Okay, and then what was the last thing? Okay, so now that I've got all my things labeled, right? And by the way to move around in Google Earth is if you want to move the map, you click your mouse and you like drag. If you want to zoom in and out, you do your wheel, right? And so I want a map of like the whole campus. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more than that, maybe. Not too far. Okay, so that's my map. All right. And so what you're going to do is you are going to go where it says print. Do you see that? It's got a little printer. And I'm going to click print. Look what it did. Okay, now I don't really like where this is. So I'm going to scoot this over a little bit. And can I adjust my legend? No, I can't. My legend is huge. I'm going to just kind of do like that. Right? So my legend has all of the things that I labeled. So it's got my untitled polygon, and it's got other stuff that I did not label because they just happen to be in here from somebody else using it or because of whatever. And so the way to get rid of the things that you don't want is, do I want borders and labels? No. Do I want places? No. Do I want roads? No. Do I want, is that everything? Line measure, I do want. Okay. So then I should be able to click on that. I might have to redo it. Let me try again. Let me unprint and then print. No, not ruler. Is it still showing up all these weird ones? I don't know. Maybe, okay, maybe I just, oh, that's where it is. Sorry. You go to here and you just get rid of all the stuff you don't want. I don't care where Chaffey College is. I don't know what Cromer's Creations is. I definitely don't want that. Don't care about Grigsby Field. All I care about is the stuff that I did. I don't care about Shepherd of the Hills. I don't care about theater. I don't care what the middle of. There we go. And now your legend has just the things you care about on it. And then up here, we should probably give our map a name. Chaffey College GPS Fund. We went to random places and learned random things. Write something there. Don't copy what I said. Write your own thing. Okay. And then we'll just close that. And then once you've got your legend the way you want it, and once you've got your little title at the top, then you're going to go up here where it says save PDF. Save it as a PDF. And then GPS map thingy. Map fun. Okay. I'm going to save it wherever I'm going to save it. Evidently, I'm just going to save it on my desktop. And that's going to save this as a PDF. And that's what you're going to turn in. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. Actually, I want to mess around with this a little bit. No, it won't let me. Okay. Oh, it's making my map. It takes it a minute to turn it into a PDF because it's taking like all of this data, like all of this mapping data and all of these photos and like all this stuff. And so it takes it, it's not like an instant thing. It takes, 30 seconds or something. So I want to see, you know what? I can't, blah, blah, blah. No, I can't change it. Anyway, there might be a way. Oh, up in this box is where you can put, I changed my mind. You guys up here, I also want you to put, what were the things that I told you that you were going to, other things you're going to add? Your elevation change. Oh, wait, I cut that off. What was the other thing I said you were going to do? The line measure or the measure between points and the heading. Okay, so my measure, I'm going to say it this way. I measured between these 2 points, and you're going to list their names. And then I'm going to say it was blah, 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 blah meters and a blah, 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 blah heading, which means you're heading toward the southeast. Yeah, so based on your number, where your number is on your thing, you're going to tell me like using letters which direction that is. So south, north, west, east, blah, blah, blah in combination. Yes? So now I'm going to save that. And now I'm going to print it. Okay? You're going to put actual, instead of X's, you're going to put numbers in there. Okay? Now I'm going to save as a PDF. And GPS Fun better. Save. Takes a minute. Cool. Okay. So then I'm going to, let's see if it worked. See if it worked. GPS Fun better. Okay. I'm opening up as a PDF. Boom. Look at that. And now you can print this out on paper if you want to keep it as a special memento. If you want to show it to somebody, look what I did at school today. If you want to, I don't know, put it in a project. Wink, wink. Because you're going to be making a map for your project at the end of the semester. What you can do is you can take this PDF file and convert it into a JPEG and then just like slap it in your Word document. Change the size, make it fit there. Anyway, cool? Okay. Everybody know what I want you to do? Okay, I'm going to stop recording myself then because, ugh. How do I stop recording? Is it there? Is it there? Is it here? Where is it? I don't remember. Oh, no, it's here. Stop recording. That's gonna be embarrassing.